want to speak?
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool. You want to speak on the subject? Come on, let me hear it.
Yeah, I understand exactly where you're coming from, man. I mean, I got a channel on YouTube, man, called Freshout.
Okay, Freshout.
Yeah, Freshout. I've been doing it since 2013, and I put a lot of positivity. I try to put it back out there, helping brothers who are out there maybe dealing with some situations, or maybe they've been in the system, and I try to spin it and put a positive light on it. And to be honest, man, you can only help those who want to be helped, man. And it's sad because most of the hate I've gotten is from other black people who, consider selling out when you're trying to actually think outside the box and not be a victim.
Right.
So, black people, man, their biggest thing is that it's easy to point the finger and put the blame on somebody else, but it's harder to make change and accept the responsibility of actually taking action. Dude, I'm a 3-time felon. I did over a decade in prison, and not once have I came out here. Yeah, you can't blame nobody, man. I can't blame not having a dad. I can't blame the fact that, I'm been in trouble, because at the end of the day, when you get old enough, you recognize your choices and you got to accept responsibility. Once you do that, everything changes for you.
Right. I'm gonna tell you where I got this question from. I was on Facebook, and I always hear black people say, hey, look, black people, they don't reach out to help other black people when they make it, and they don't reach out to help other black people when they make it. And I know you heard this too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, now my thing is this, right? And I'm just using me for an example, right? I have been involved in crypto since like 2017, right? And everybody in my family, everybody I care about anyway, was like, hey, I'm telling them, hey man, get in crypto, do this, do that. And of course they was like, they don't listen, or they don't, you know what I mean? They don't listen. So when you do get up, when you do finally, make it to get some money, the same people that didn't listen to your journey or whatever be the same people looking back like, hey, look at you. You don't never reach back and help nobody, when really you've been trying to help them the whole time.
See, the thing is, not everybody's a visionary. I've had conversations and with family members, and I talk about, hey, I want to live in this particular type of house, or I want to own this or that. And some of the comments has been, why, you better, don't live beyond your means, and you got to stay in your lane and this and that. I'm like, well, you got all them other people living up there. Are they staying in their lane? Are they any better than what I'm doing? Why can't I be the one up there living that life, or enjoying this type of travel, or doing this and that? And that's the thing, man. When you are mentally poor, you don't have a vision, you don't understand wealth, and you haven't been outside to see that. That's some people's norm. It's some people's norm to be up and to live in a place that's $10,000 a month, and to travel, and to have their kids in private schools, and to, enjoy eating out every night. That's not nothing new to some people. But when you're conditioned and you haven't been exposed, then your mind is very limited. You have to go outside and see things beyond what your comfort zone is. And a lot of black people don't challenge themselves like that. They don't know how other cultures live. They never kicked it with some balling ass Asians, or some Jews, or some Armenians, or people who are living outside of their immediate surroundings. And then once you see that, you look at things different.
Right. You do. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because I had to leave from where I was from in order to, learn and, be in the position where I'm at now. So you're absolutely right. And when I do talk about this crypto, I do keep in mind that, everybody's not going to understand. You know what I mean? Especially, coming from urban, impoverished communities. It's hard for us to see outside of what we don't see in our face every day,
Well, it's almost like you talk about pay grade, right? When you talk about pay grade, and you're the foreman, or you're a site supervisor, but you're talking about looking at blueprints, but you're talking to the guys who are just the hammer and nail guys. You're not taking it away from them, but you're at a different pay grade. So when you start talking about crypto, or you start talking about NFTs, or you start talking about developing an app. I'm going to talk to a recruiter and get an app going, and I'm going to try to maybe start off a clothing line. I got this guy who's gonna do my Shopify and do all this stuff. You start talking all this different language. People who haven't been around people who are involved in that world, they don't understand it. So I always try to put myself around people who I can learn from, to where I'm almost the dumbest person in the room, and not to say I'm dumb, but the not smartest person. So I'm getting game. But if you're not getting game, and you're not willing to get the game, and you just get mad and say, "Hey, man," and start hating on those people, you won't ever elevate.
Right. You're absolutely correct. Tell me this. What do you say to those people that the example I just gave you? Let's say it takes you an average of, I'm gonna say, 8 years to make significant money in crypto, and that's like a bam. I don't know if you know about it, do you?
Yeah, I know about crypto. I mean, I've been involved in a couple of drops and stuff like that.
So
I'm
even
familiar with
know that this ain't no overnight thing. You know what I'm saying? This it takes time to get where you want to be, right? All right, so what do you say to these people that when you get to where you're going, right? They be like, "Hey, help me out. And then you tell them, "Hey, do A, B, and C." But when A, B, and C don't seem to happen as fast as they seen it happen to you, which saying it wasn't fast happen to you, that's just what they see. People don't be behind the scene. They don't know, hell, the nights at 2:00 in the morning. Know what I mean? I had to get up and watch the chart. They don't understand that. They don't know the stuff I had to sacrifice to get the money to invest in this instead of going to get a cheeseburger. They wasn't there to do none of that. What they see is just you on the internet. You hear one day and boom, you dead the next. So when you tell them A, B, and C, and when A, B, and C don't work for them the way they, I guess, feel like it should work for them, they turn around on you like, "Oh, you don't help nobody because you ain't telling me what you did, even though you ain't telling me what you did, and you don't want to see nobody come up." What do you tell those people?
You know what? You can't really even go back and tell them anything, man. That's the sad part. Once you get to where you're going, because your journey, you're on a different frequency, and it's like you're trying to bring them up to your frequency, and they're not able to change their vibration high enough to understand your language. So it doesn't matter what you told them, they will never comprehend that. And that's the sad part. It's like once you get there, it's like when you're, like you said, the nights that you're, up watching the charts, or you're looking at the blips, you're trying to, figure out the candlesticks or whatever you're doing as far as charting. And then you lose, and everybody's like, the crypto's down right now. But then you hold, and then it comes back, 2 years from now. And now you're sitting on a meal ticket, and then they're like, "Oh man, you blah blah blah." Well, those people they're not capable of seeing the long haul, the long hustle. Everybody wants the instant hustle. You look at people on social media, it's instant gratification. The guy has the Rolls Royce, the guy has a Lambo, the guy has the girl, the Gucci bag. All that's instant gratification, but that's not realistic. That's an illusion. Anybody that's made money off of real estate. I met a guy who wrote a script, man, and this guy's been in Hollywood for 30 years, but he had so many people turn down his scripts before he got an actual deal. But nobody sees those hours of you writing by yourself, trying to figure out and doing these things. So everybody just wants the end result. But there's only a few people. That's why it's such a small amount of people who run everything. It's less than 1%, because it's the discipline. See, everybody talks about it, but a lot of people don't understand it. So when you get it, and you're in another area, you're in a place where people are like-minded like you, and you have conversations, they fully understand it. But if I was to go back to my block, and I pulled up over there in a Porsche Turbo or not, man, them dudes they look at me like, "Man, who the hell I think I am? I'm trying to clown this and that." But the thing is, when I try to tell them, "Hey, man, come invest 5 G's with me on this app, or come do this," and even though you could possibly lose because there's a lot of people out there running scams, but if you don't take a chance, you can't win. And everybody wants to see, when you do win, "Oh man, I knew you was gonna. Oh man, you bubbled. Hey, partner, you gonna put me up now? It's like, dude, you didn't go through when I was doing when I lost damn near, 3/4 my investment, and I had to sit there and try to be patient because it went to, a couple thousand, whatever the case may be, and I had to wait. You thought it was a joke. You were clowning me because I didn't I didn't listen to what you were doing. And that's the thing. See, everybody wants to jump on the winning team, but they don't want to go through what it takes to be on the winning team.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And then when I try to explain that, right, even to them or other people that's looking at them, I see it like this, man. It's like this, right? Me, the last thing you will hear come out my mouth is me complaining about what somebody else didn't do for me. Because I understand that, I'm a grown man. I can't expect for anybody to do anything. And I know a bunch of people that made a lot of money doing a lot of stuff. I'm not expecting them to reach back out at me. I wasn't there with them, engineering and manufacturing all this stuff that they got rich off of, right? So it's hard. It's hard for me to really like understand kind of like the mindset of what do you mean by reaching back? Okay, I'm a podcaster, right? I'm gonna say that I'm a podcaster, right? I started a podcast about a year and a half ago, or whatever. If my podcast blow up, as of right now, I could remember, I could count on one hand how many people actually helped me. And I know it's a million people that seen my content, did not share it, didn't comment, didn't do nothing for it, right? So, when I do blow up, right, I am going to look out for, the people that supported me. I'm not going to look out for the people that didn't. And I know the people that, the ones that didn't, they're going to be the main ones like, oh, well, look at you. You done did this, you done did that or whatever. What about me? But again, like I say, they did not help. I'm talking about not a share, not a like, did absolutely nothing to help me in my journey to make it happen. Like that just don't make sense to me.
It's tough, man. It's like it's an ingrained, almost like an ingrained emotion inside some people. Because I've seen it a lot. I mean, I've been doing podcasting also, and like I said, my YouTube channel. I try to, you gotta give me a YouTube channel, bro. Yeah. You is fire. You know how to articulate yourself real good. I want to get to like. Yeah, I've been, like I said, I was one of the first people to kick off the whole prison YouTube stuff, and a lot of people copied me, but I hope a lot of people,
Big Herc. You know what? Yeah, you know what? Know what I'm saying? I know Big Herc from YouTube. This is not Big Herc I'm talking to right now. Also, because I've been sitting up here thinking that. I'm sitting up here thinking it for a minute. I'm like, man, this can't be Big Herc. Busting cheeks.
Yeah, man.
This can't be Big Herc. This, what?
Yeah, man. I just jumped on here real quick. I'm trying to, just keeping our fan base, man. I've seen your thing, so I don't usually do this stuff, man, because I was actually working, but I just figured I'd go ahead and jump in on the conversation real quick.
I'm a fan, bro. I follow your page, bro. I'm a fan, man. I don't know this you though, man. I don't want to get no grace to this.
No, ain't no catfish, bro. This Big Herc 916, man, and like I said,
oh shit!
I recognize the game, bro.
Hey,
I try to elevate our people too, bro. And I tell you right now, most of my biggest haters are family members and people I grew up with, man. So, and even in the pen, bro, I had dudes in the pen, brothers, man, that would have loved to try to put hands on me, but because of just how I carry myself, they didn't, they didn't want to risk it. But it's like you can't. It's sad, man. And I go to a lot of places where I'm a minority. I go to a lot of places where I'm the only brother. And I'm not intimidated to have conversations with any nationality. But you're going to realize that when you do blow, and it's sad, it's not going to be a whole lot of people, bro, you're going to be able to share that with. You're not going to be able to tell these people to come to your house because they're going to put bad juju in your house. They're going to put bad energy. There's a lot of people, man. I used to really try to get together and put together parties and organize stuff. And once I got from in front of their face and I moved, a lot of them people, bro, they made no effort to continue that friendship. Nope. So you're going to realize you're going to have to start figuring out now who your true friends are before you get that paper. Because once you get that paper and you really start living life, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be plotting your demise. So you want to recognize them early on.
Oh, that's real.
Right. Right. Hey, real quick.
Okay, yeah, man. Shout out to you, man. Noemotionpodcast, bro. I mean, you spit, you're kicking some game on here, man. And this is conversation that Black people need to have, because they don't have this conversation, and we don't lace each other up like other nationalities do, man. I know, dude, I know some Asian partners, bro. They whole family is balling together. I know some Armenians. I know some Persians. Everybody is on the same page. And Blacks, we don't do that, man. We are so not united on helping each other, and we don't pass the game down. You know, when you're dealing with, like, I got partners that, you know, I lived in two different environments. I lived in an environment where I seen people who were more lower middle, like middle class, lower middle class, and I've been around some cats who family was upper middle class to, you know, doing quite well, and I see the difference in how they interact as family, and it's like night and day, man. And there's a lot to be learned, you know. Not to say that there aren't successful Black families, but the ones who are the ones who are, you know, you got to get that exposure. You got to share the game with your young ones. You got to, I mean, you got to put your kids, it's like, I call it a sense, not a negative sense, infiltration, man. You got to infiltrate that other society so you can see. And once you see, you realize, oh man, this ain't shit. It's just information. They ain't smarter. They're not, you know, any more intelligent. We have the same capabilities, but if we don't get the exposure and reprogram ourselves, we've been programmed to be dumb. We've been programmed to entertain foolishness, man, and to lash out at each other, and to every other Black, we're enemies, and we got to beef somebody, and that's stupidity, man. It's going on all day. You see it on Clubhouse. You see it on all these. Everything we do, we lead trends. If we were right now to turn around and say, you know what, we're all going to go off of Instagram, we're going to go on fan base, or we're all going to go over here and do this. We're all going to start rapping about buying real estate and crypto. And we start talking about buying real estate and crypto, there would be no more, the murder rate would drop. It would drop. If brothers start saying, hey, we're going to go to school, we're going to start buying businesses, we're going to open up HVAC, we're going to do this, we're going to take over the car industry. Man, literally, they would be scared to death, like, oh shit, all these dudes who are out here hustling, they're going to stop going to strip clubs, they're going to start buying businesses. Dude, you could take over a city. Dudes can do it. I mean, when you have gangster rappers going to the governor's ball to perform, what does that tell you about these Europeans, how they look at us? They worship us, bro. They worship us. When you're a brother,
you're right,
or a sister, and you got game. Cardi B sent the tweet out, and then they got mad and tried to tell her to come to the White House. What does that tell you about these people, man? No, they don't want to be us. The world loves us, but don't want to be us. But they want to be us because we have such influence. Any trend starts in the Black culture. Little Richard, Bo Diddley, James Brown, Ray Charles, all these, the Commodore, they steal everything from us and then regenerate it and say that, you know, now we slaves to it. You know what I mean? So we don't see it. And then what happens is you go out and you be the one and you're doing all this. And if they say, okay, you're making too many moves, they'll send somebody to knock you down.
Yeah, they do it every time.
Black Panthers, that's what they did. They send their own they basically get inside, basically come inside your circle, act like they down, and next thing you know, they infiltrate it and knock you right on down. So you got to be really tight. You got to be tight with your circle. The game ain't for everybody, but it's for like minds. If I'm at a crypto event, you're at a crypto event, I know you know that we hear the same thing. So, oh, okay, what's up, brother? Okay, crypto, blah 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 blah. Me and you could chop it up, but I can't go from a crypto event back to the block and be like, hey man, I was at a crypto event. I'm like, man, get the hell up out of here.
Okay, anybody want to hear that shit?
No, you come over here with that old weirdo always talking about that. That man, last time I gave Herc man $1,000, man, I lost my ass. Man, he be telling me all this bullshit. Man, I ain't messing. See, they don't understand the game. That's part of the game. So you gotta be careful, bro. And I'm telling you, man, as you get older, they always say, oh man, it's lonely being rich. Nah, man, you just start realizing that you can't. Rich people, man, the more I meet them, they're very conscious of who they start inviting their circles into. Because see, making money, rich people already have enough money. But if they let you make money, if they invite you in, that means that they got to build they think long term. Like, hey, do I want you going to meet my family, going to a barbecue, Can we vacation together? That's how they think. They don't think like brother. See, a lot of dudes just to put it into the street game. Instead of working with a plug, they go to the plug 2 or 3 times and they rob them. Why would you rob the plug?
Right.
This dude's the plug. Oh, I'm gonna get another one.
Stop everybody money.
Oh,
That's
man, now the dude is, you just started a war. Can't nobody get no money. You got a beef. But these dudes, instead of like thinking, 10 years down the line, I'll be a millionaire. Oh, I'm gonna rob that dude. Why?
Yeah, You know what? And let me say this, right? Because I understand that to an extent, because I like from where I'm from. I know you from West Coast. I'm from Georgia, man. I'm from the projects in Georgia, bro. And this is my thing. I done been to a point when I was younger, when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, like I was in my mind, couldn't nobody, like if a nigga came up and he was doing good in life and whatever, I didn't want to learn from him. I wanted to rob him. I mean, you know, I couldn't, you know what I'm saying, imagine being within arm's length of, you know, somebody sitting around with $100,000 on their neck. That shit would drive me crazy. I mean, when I was young, you know what I mean? Not now, but when I was young, that shit would have drove me crazy.
So take that same mentality. I was the same way, bro. I've been to juvenile hall. I've been to California Authority. I done did a lot of street stuff, just like what you're talking about. But that's because of my lack of maturity and my ignorance, and I wasn't on the right frequency. See, I was around low frequency shit. I was on some gangster shit. I used to ride around with a strap all the time, doing all this stupid shit. And I was like, you know, I didn't understand my purpose. It wasn't until I went to the federal pen and I sat up in there, I'm looking at dudes doing 100 years, life, you know, 5 lives plus 30 years. Dudes up in there, real gangsters, real dudes who was getting real money from all over Baltimore, D.C., New York, mob figures, dudes who were, you know, from Virginia, all over the country, the biggest drug dealers, killers. I was around them. I started thinking like, damn, how the hell did I get up in here? What brought me in here? Right. See, it's like these guys doing smash and grab. Those are gateway crimes, the bigger crimes, just like everything else. So you're thinking you're getting away with something, but all it is pulling you further and further into that abyss. So if you want to get away from that, you have to retrain yourself. Like if you're around multimillionaires and people who are just, like you said, $1,000, $100,000 around their neck ain't shit. They got, you know, their daily is like a Benz CL63, and then they got Ferraris and Porsches, and they, you know what I mean? And, you know, if that's
in my old mind, that would change my life.
Exactly. That's my point. You have to be exposed to something enough to where it changes your frequency, to where now when you go back and look at the other shit, like when I see people in some of these clubs, I'm like, man, I'm cool. I ain't going over there. I know it could be happening over there. I'm good. It changes you, man. But you have to. It's a hard change, bro. And a lot of people can't do it because, you know, it's comfortable. You get comfortable. You know, it's like, oh, I can go back over here. Now, when I go places, I look for the places that are at the same level where I'm thinking. I'm looking for the people with the money. I'm trying to get around that game. I'm not trying to be around the hood shit. I go to the hood, you know, here and there to pass through there, but I recognize that, man, these people right here.
Everybody, all my friends and everybody I know still in the project, though, Herc. Like it's like the places I'm at now. Like, I mean, I got friends and I'm gonna say it. I use that word loosely, right? You know what I'm saying? Because really, in my true hearts, you know what I'm saying? All my friends that I feel like really my friends, like deep down in their heart, these folks still po. You know what I mean, or whatever. But the friends I got now, was they friends nonetheless. But I still got a feeling like, you know, they're not like to that level of friend. You know, the trust level ain't the same. You know what I mean? I got a homie back in the hood, man. I would go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And leave my safe open around him. I know him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he from the hood, and I know, but my trust level is different. I wouldn't do that around a couple of my friends now. I'm not saying that they bad people or nothing. And I don't think they would ever do nothing like that to me. But at the same time,
you know, it's gonna be like that though, bro. You know, what's sad is like it's like I tell my wife, I said, some of the places we grew up in, it was by default, bro. We were babies. We were kids. We didn't have no choice. We weren't paying the bills, so we didn't have an option of the neighborhood we grew up in or the people we grew up around. But as we mature now and know better and have a better understanding of life, some of those people, it's not like you turned your back on them, but you realize that you've kind of grown out of that. It's like, imagine if you had a lion and a lion was being raised by a pack of, like a herd of goats. And then once the lion went around some other lions and they said, dude, what are you doing? You know, we eat those things. What are you talking about? Them goats, man, them goats, we eat those. Those are when we get hungry, man, we break bread. And you're like, damn, those are my people though. He said, well, dude, you ain't got to eat your people, but I'm telling you right now that we run this shit. We on a whole nother level. So it's like you consciously become awake, but not everybody is consciously awakened as you, and some people might not ever become as awakened as you are consciously. And it ain't nothing bad. It is what it is.
Yeah. But it make me mad though, Herc. Like it pisses me off because I want everybody to be good. Why can't they understand this? It's very simple. It's really simple. Why can't they understand this? And I want everybody to be good. I want everybody to win.
I used to have a dream where I used to say, man, it'd be dope that if we were at this international hotel and I got my partners with me because I know these are my day ones, and we all on the same page. We over here enjoying ourselves. We around, so I'm not around all these, because I go a lot of places, man. I see a lot of fake ass people, bro. I'm like, dude, these people, man, well, I'm not a celebrity, but I go a lot of places, nigga. And I'm like, I tell my wife, I'm like, man, I say what's up, I'm courteous and I talk, but I know this. I'm like, man, I wish the dudes from some certain people I grew up with could see this so they can understand it, but not everybody's mind works the same. So even if I brought some of my partners to certain places, like, man, let's go to Malibu, let's go over here, and they like, oh man, they feel uncomfortable, like they feel like they tripping or they acting funny. I said, dude, ain't nobody tripping. You tripping, man, because you feel intimidated. You can't allow these people to intimidate you because maybe they got money, or because they're white, or because they're Jewish, or because they're Asian, or whatever the case may be. You have to feel comfortable, man, that when you get into a money situation, ain't no color, man. Money's international. You're going to go places, man, you might be the only brother up in there, but you talk that language, and then, it doesn't matter. But that's the game, man, and that's the sad part. See, if we would have been taught this at a younger age, we wouldn't be going through all these psychological challenges we're dealing with right now, trying to make other people see it, because you would have been like, hey, look, man, not everybody's going to grow to become a shining star or recognize the world for what it is. It's just like trying to, not everybody's going to pick up the game. But you see it. So the main thing is to recognize enough to where you don't put yourself in harm's way, trying to help somebody that really ain't ready to be helped. I always say you can only help those who want to be helped. I used to try to lace up a lot of dudes in the pen. Oh man, Herc running game over there. Hey, he always over there studying the law. Oh man, he don't want to walk the yard. He don't want to do this. I'm like, for what? Talk about bullshit? I'm not learning nothing from you guys. You ain't talking about nothing. You guys aren't. You don't care about your health. You say when you get out, you're not going to work out no more. You're going to start drinking. Dude, I do the same thing. I don't drink. I work out. I try to spiritual stuff. I try to elevate myself. I'm always trying to better myself. If you're not trying to do the same, why do I need to mess with you?
Absolutely. You're right. And it took me a while to get to that point. You know what I mean? To where a lot of stuff that I used to think was fun, a lot of stuff I felt like I had to do, not necessarily that I want to do. I felt like I had to do it because that's just the way it was. A lot of stuff I felt like I had to do, I stopped doing because I found newer things to want to do or whatever, and just try to get out of that box that I was raised in. I get it though, but hey, I definitely want to know what I'm saying. Appreciate you, Big Herc. You know what? I was just thinking about this the other day, right? Is that they always send like people. I tried to do the Big Brother program here in the city where I am. and they told me I couldn't do it because I had drug charges. Can you believe that?
Well, it's like I've tried to reach out to some of the prisons in different places, and see, they'll pay to have these some of these other political people come in there and speak that bullshit, but they don't want to pay a brother who has the real message. So I'm like, dude, I can't do it for free.
Yeah.
You pay.
I believe that.
You pay a rapper who talks about drugs and robbing. You'll pay him to come do a speech, but you don't want to pay me. I'm good.
Right, exactly. And you know what? I feel like y'all, the experience is the only one that should be getting paid to do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I know, man, me coming up, couldn't no politician or no black dude, or let's say for instance, right, they give me an example, right? When I was 14, 15 years old, I first started selling crack. If I couldn't no nigga come and tell me like, hey man, look, I'm from the ghetto, I had to work my way through college and look where I am. He couldn't tell me that because nigga, I wasn't going to college. I never made it to college. I never made it out of high school, bro. This shit different. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Shit, I mean, I understand. You came from the same place. Look, we come from the same place. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? People come from the same place, but people are active at different times. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't into school and shit when I was that age. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't into school and shit. I was into making money. I was selling dope at 15. I dropped out in 9th grade after my second year of being in 9th grade. It's different.
Yeah. College
wasn't no option for me. Shit, I wanted to get that money. College was not even an option. So can't nobody come up to me that say, yeah, I had to work my way through college. I had to do this. I had to dodge selling drugs. I had to dodge doing this, doing that. They couldn't come and say that to me, not to me. Shit, growing up in the house with my mom on crack, you know what I'm saying? I got to do what I got to do. My siblings weren't eating. That's a different type of pressure.
Yeah.
So people like you, man, that actually been there, man, and from that same shit that I'm from, I listen to that.
Well, that's the thing, man. It's like, getting the voices out there, but we're competing against, people who have invested interest in private prisons and Black Death. When you think about it and you look at how music has changed and how music and entertainment can be weaponized, you can easily show Bill Cosby. The Cosby Show was the only show we used to see that showed a successful black man and his wife that had a family. His kids went to school. They weren't selling drugs. They weren't robbing. They weren't, doing criminal activity. It was like a positive. Good Times showed poor black family, but they were together. Jefferson showed a man who had a chain of cleaners, so he was kind of, doing well, had white neighbors. But what have been the black shows who have showed us balling? We didn't have no Dallas, Dynasty, Heart to Heart, some of these other shows that show rich white people. We didn't have that. I never met a black man growing up who was a doctor, a lawyer, an attorney, a politician, a corporate or a CEO. I didn't know that until I got older, and then I got to the feds and I started talking to people who were millionaires, and it changed my perspective. And then I'm like, damn, I could be a millionaire. I can get around these people. I need to start putting myself around a more elevated class structure. And so I had to learn, but I went to prison and learned. I had to go, it's like, I didn't want to learn like that, but I had no choice, but at the end of the day, it's having that proper role model mentor and they know, like, at the end of the, having that exposure and having people flip the script, because when you're showing young kids doing gang signs or holding guns and all this stuff, and you're not taught that you could legally go buy a gun and protect your family, and you don't have to, wave a gun like a toy. It's not cool to point it at people, but teach responsibility, teach like value, teach that your kids, you want them to grow up to have some type of sense of self. These are things that we're lacking. And if we were to change that, like I said, we're a percentage that could take over because we influence everybody. Everybody knows Jay-Z. Everybody knows Beyonce, Little Baby, Kodak Black. I mean, Young G. I mean, dude, these people are iconic. And if it was a united front, they'd be running shit. They can change politics and criminal laws and all this stuff in all these states, man. But they don't want that. They don't want that. So we got a small voice. We got a few people. We got to, find like-minded and move where we can move and try to make change where we can. But the big change, man, we have the power right now with Hollywood, man, where if if we show a young, strong black man, you know how many young, strong brothers we're going to have to say, hey, man, I could be like him. If we had a bunch of King Richards, like that movie with Serena and Venus, imagine if we had that going on everywhere. Dude, you know how that would change families? Totally different, bro. Totally different. So, you know, that's what we got to look at, man. Absolutely. At the end of the day, you know, keep doing your podcast. I'm going to keep pushing mine. And, you know, subscribe, check out Big Herc 916 YouTube, also Freshout YouTube. And yeah, shout out to Noemotionpodcast, man. And brother, keep doing your thing, keep shining. And you know, hopefully we can collab together one day.